Hey everyone, welcome to a sewing video. This is kind of a spur of the moment video idea, and I thought I might as well just go with the flow when I'm feeling really pumped and excited about it. So the last kind of big sewing update I did was about my year of buying less ready to wear and attempting to sew more items, and then I did a things I sewed recently. So that's kind of where we stand in terms of things I've made. I would say probably this summer I haven't done a whole lot of sewing with the move and just everything else that's been going on. I haven't been feeling in the mood to focus and concentrate and do some good sewing, but I was watching a few YouTube videos from other sewing bloggers here on YouTube, and I kind of stumbled into the rabbit hole of sewing a capsule wardrobe. Now, if you have been with me for a while, you know I make great plans, but I change my mind often. I've done things like make 9, I've done, variations of such things, and they don't always pan out. But since doing that full year of buying less ready to wear, I feel a bit, actually no, let me rephrase. I feel way more confident in knowing my personal style than I did before, and I definitely think one of the reasons I kept changing my mind and kind of failing at those previous sewing projects was because I couldn't decide what I liked and didn't like, and so I kept changing my mind, right? I wasn't sewing for a style that I knew a lot about, but now I feel so much more settled in my personal style. I'm going to give this another go. So, as the title mentions, this is going to be my introduction to an attempt at sewing a mini capsule wardrobe. Now, this is most definitely spurred on by the series of videos that's done by Whitney from TomCat Stitchery. If you're in the sewing community, she posts very frequently here on YouTube. I would say she's probably the most frequent frequent uploaders, frequently posting YouTubers in the sewing community here on YouTube. So she's done a whole series, and she does them quite in depth and walks you through the process and her color planning and stuff like that. If you love all of that, I'll put the link to her videos down below. But I've also seen over on Instagram, I think it's Emily, I can't remember her last name, Emily something. I'll put her down below as well. She often sews in capsules, and for her it's more like color capsules, so all the pieces color coordinate together. And then I know Whitney, TomCat Stitchery, had taken this sewing capsule idea from Christie Ressel, who I watch on and off here on YouTube. She's a stylist. I want to say she could be Canadian, question mark, maybe. She really talks about the flexibility of capsules and this and that. I just realized I've been talking 4 minutes now just on my introduction, but the point of kind of where I want to get your opinion and just chat with you about my sewing capsule potential is I spent all afternoon, after going down this rabbit hole, you guys, I spent all afternoon thinking what I would do. And we are changing seasons again. Summers and warm weather is actually very short here in Vancouver, so we're quickly moving into what is the rest of the year, which is chilly, it's rainy, it's often windy, it's just wet. So with that big season in mind, which really encompasses autumn and winter and spring, I thought I'd take the opportunity to attempt a mini capsule wardrobe by sewing some things that I thought I would wear frequently. So where would you play into all this? I have categorized the pieces in my mini capsule based on what Whitney has done. So this is totally based off of kind of her, and she's basing off of Christie Ressel and so on and so forth. But the idea of this capsule is to have one outer layer piece, 3 top options, and then 2 bottom options. Now for each of these categories, I love to get a vote or your just thought process on either or. So I'm gonna put up 2 options for every category item, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on which ones you think I should make. And these are all patterns I already have in my collection, which is really important to me. I want to try and make use of my collection of patterns and whatnot, and hopefully when in the following video, when I've kind of tallied up and made a final decision on what specific items I'm going to make, we'll pair some fabrics from my fabric stash with these patterns as well. Okay, the rest of this video is going to be quick, I promise. So for the outer layer option, I've got 2 in mind. Now for me, I am a cozy cardigan-esque person. So there is one I am leaning towards, but I have 2 options here. The first one is the Bertha cardigan from Tilly and the Buttons and her sewing book. I have not made this, but it seems pretty simple. There's a lot of options for color blocking in this, which I like, although I don't think I have enough of the same textured and weighted fabric in my collection to do a color blocking. But I like the overall silhouette. It doesn't seem like complicated, so Bertha cardigan is one option. The second is a McCall's sweatshirt. I'm going to call this an outer because it is kind of flexible. I would often wear a camisole or a t-shirt and then this on top. So I'm pushing this towards the outer category, and I think if you are living somewhere warmer, this is totally an outer piece. For me, this is definitely a fall autumn outer piece. So I love the detailing on this McCall's sweatshirt. It has that vintage vibe. I do have some sweatshirting fabric, which I think would work beautifully for this. And most likely I would choose the version with the V in the front where the top and bottom pieces are separated, and might do like a little piping or something. So Bertha cardigan or McCall's sweatshirt, your vote. Now let's go into tops. 3 tops. I'm going to call one of them already done because I know this is an item I'm going to wear very often. So the Tabitha t-shirt I'm going to throw in here as part of my capsule. I made this earlier and I've been wearing it lows, and because of the weight of this piece, I know moving forward it's only going to get more wear, not less. So that's already accounted for. That's one. Another item for my top is the choice between the Sew House 7 toaster sweater. I kind of like that silhouette, the tunic style silhouette. It's something I would definitely wear around the house more often. Oh, by the way, this whole capsule situation, most of it will be for casual wear. Some of it may transition into work wear, but my overall thing is very casual, and there's no point getting dolled up if I'm not really a dolled up kind of person in my day-to-day. So, Sew House 7 toaster sweater. I would probably do the one with the taller funnel neck and the slightly longer split side hem tunic, or the style 4303. I'm calling it a tie front shirt. It's loose, it's casual. You could probably make it in a light sweatshirting. So those are 2 choices for one of my toppers. Pick one of those. Then the last topper would be something more lightweight. I'm thinking a camisole because I wear those really often as an underlayer to my cardigans. And my 2 options are either the Ogden cami, which I've made before, and or the Misty cami, which is new to me, but I've heard great reviews about it. They are very similar, but they have very subtle differences. What do you think? Misty or Ogden? So that would account for my 3 top choices. let's go to bottoms. Now, I really had to dig deep and think about my bottoms. You know, this big long season that I just call the wet season, I wear the same bottoms over and over, but in order to kind of throw a little bit of flexibility into there, I've chosen for kind of the two bottom options. One would be some kind of a skirt. So my choices are the Butterick 4136, which is, I would say, like a midi skirt, not quite, it's not super full, it's a little slimmer in the hip, but does fan out a bit, but not quite an A-line. I haven't actually looked at the pattern itself, like taken out of the envelope, so I can't tell for sure if it's an A-line skirt, but based on the drawing, it seems to be almost like a flared skirt. That is an option. Or I would make the no pattern needed from that book. I'm calling it like a wrap tulip midi skirt. It's the long one that I really liked, and one of the reasons I bought the book. That one would be made in a knit probably, or the flowy Butterick skirt I would make in like a woven fabric. Both of these options though would likely be for like a wear around the house, or you know, somewhere close by kind of a look, not really when it gets super cold out. So that would be one of my bottom options. My second bottom option would be some kind of a pant, because this girl, in her heart, loves wearing pants. I'm such a pants person. It's just what it is. I've got two options for pants. One is from a Japanese sewing book called Couturier Sewing, and I'm gonna call it like a wide-legged, cropped, pull-on elastic pant. We love elastic pants with back pocket detailing. I could keep the pockets, take out the pockets, not a big deal. But what drew me in is kind of the shape of it. I would likely make it in some kind of a twill or something like that. Could be in a print, hey. And then with the sash, I really like the addition of the sash. I think it makes it really sassy. The other option in the pants would be some split hem joggers, so we can call them like overlapped hem joggers. They have a little ankle detailing. These are also pull-on. I do have some kind of athletic fabric, I think, that will be water resistant. That sounds like a good idea for the wet season, but I'm open to either option. So those are my choices for my mini handmade capsule wardrobe for the wet and winter season is what I'm going to call it. It's a pretty long season, so I have plenty of time hopefully to work on these projects. I'm a slow sewer, so you know, planning early, tackling one thing at a time, having like a big idea, that seems to really help me. And I think regardless of what I choose, all of these are items and silhouettes that really resonate with my current personal style. So I will actually put, if you open up the information bar, I will put the categories down below, and you can just say category 1, what do you think you would choose, category 2, category 3, so on and so forth. A big shout out to both Whitney and Christie for kind of coming up with this whole thing, and I'm excited to sort of roll with it. So love to hear your thoughts, and hopefully in the next video I'll be able to show you some fabric pairings from my stash with the patterns, so we can really start to conceptualize and really visualize this whole capsule coming together. All right, talk to you in the comments. Take care. See you soon. Bye.